So tomorrow, the first day of May. Little League season is getting back underway. A lot of it did this past weekend.
Sure did.
Whether it's baseball, soccer, lacrosse, or any sport, injuries are a concern for so many parents. We're joined by Dr. Daniel Day from Rochester Regional Health Sports Medicine about how parents can help reduce the risk of significant injury.
Parents can actually help in this because we see our kids and they're so excited to get outside, but you know, you've got to think of keeping them safe.
Yep, and it certainly doesn't seem like baseball season, does it? Right?
No.
Snow yesterday,
the weather,
so, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think when we have Little League coming up and kids are throwing, and if they're playing all year round, you know, we got to consider arm health as one of the issues.
Okay.
So.
Now that's different, say, from when we were kids. I mean, it was sort of like a one-season sport.
Right.
And now they're throwing so much more than we used to, so we have to act differently, don't we?
Yeah, so when we're throwing all year round, that arm is just has repetitive stress, and we're not doing the other things like the stretches and the strengthening piece so that we're ready to be able to throw. Where before we had natural breaks, we had backyard sports, we played 2 or 3 sports, and now, you know, I get 12-year-olds in the office that are really baseball pitchers year round, and that's all they do.
Yeah, and you think about it, parents might think, oh, they're being coached by their coaches on how to prevent injury, and so they think, oh, you know, they don't need to really get involved. But you're saying parents can absolutely do something, right?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing is breaks, right? So we want breaks throughout the year, even throughout the week. We don't want them throwing. Major League Baseball, Little League Baseball has pitch counts, so that's one of the big things to prevent. So some of the studies show if you limit your pitch counts and abide by those rules, then we reduce risk of arm injury. So that's one of the things. The other thing is just making sure your mechanics are good. So a lot of times when you're overthrowing, you get that tightened capsule. So I don't know, when's the last time you guys threw?
Gosh.
Well,
I played softball, and that was when I was 12.
But that's an injury.
Yeah, I mean, we can kind of demonstrate if you want to stand up.
Let's stand up and do that. Okay.
So one thing that we really notice is if you are here, a thrower will tend to have a lot more motion back here, which you're actually kind of tight.
The surgery, yes.
And they won't have as much motion coming down this way.
Okay.
So you kind of get this capsule restriction in the back here, which if you have that capsule restriction, that puts more stress on not only the shoulder and the labrum, but also on the medial elbow. I'm sure you guys have heard of Tommy John surgery before.
Sure.
So that's a ligament that's in here that often can be injured when your mechanics are off. And the other thing is with kids, so if we have kids that are throwing, then it's the growth plate injury. So instead of having like a labral injury in the shoulder or a ligament injury in the elbow, now we're putting stress on this growth plate here, we're putting stress on the growth plate up here, and I actually see stress fractures through those areas in kids that are still growing.
Really?
I was going to say, these kids aren't even done growing yet, and they're harming them. I mean, they can injure themselves.
Right. So, I mean, leading up to Little League, I've already had people in the office coming in, and I'm doing x-rays, and we're seeing changes in their growth plates just because they've been, you know, throwing too much, and now they've really ramped it up, getting ready for their spring sport.
Wow.
What can that do long term?
Yeah.
Obviously, you got to take some time off to let it heal.
Yeah, if that heals and then we
forming.
change and we can, it's actually good education, right? So now if we can change their behavior, now we're making a bigger difference, and if it heals, it's going to be fine.
Okay.
If we don't change it, and then say growth plates close, all that's fine, but now all of a sudden we're putting more strain on the labrum and the ligament in the elbow, now that's when you're getting labral tears, UCL tears, and that's when they're ending up with surgery.
It's so young an age.
Yeah, so the more you throw, if you're not abiding by the pitch counts or the warning signs of fatigue and pain, then a lot of them are going to end up surgical down the road.
Wow.
You mentioned if it happens before the growth plate closes, what's the time frame for that?
It's different. So in females, it's younger. In males, it's a little bit older. So a lot of males, 16, 18, even up to 20, you can still get some of that. Females, it's 12, 14, 16. And growth plates, they all close at different spots, but generally females are younger, and then they're putting more strain on the other tissues.
Incredible. Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, great advice for parents as we head into the season. So thank you so much, Doctor.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Good timing.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Norma.
All right.
Thanks, Jen.
Coming up, local headlines are next.